And then changing the host name. So how to change the host name? So how to set the host name? So host name CTL set host name, new host name, and then it will be file contents under the edit. So we need to edit the etc hostname file. Then it will be we need to store the permanent hostname for system. So how to set the hostname? Let me check. See clear hostname. So what is the hostname here? Control.example.com. Okay. So how to change the hostname? See hostname is this one. So how to check the hostname? Hostname CTL set hostname. So if you want to set so master for this hostname. See hostname it was changed to master. Let me check the cat etc slash hostname. So it was changed the hostname in configuration file. So this is the so how to say change the hostname in uh, directly into the host configuration file. So you can give the hostname name, then it will be enables it will changes into the only with the terminal. Let me check that how it will be hostname slave. So let's check hostname. It will be changes in here, but it won't changes in configuration file. This is what only for uh, the hostname command. It will be only for the that only particular terminal. Whenever it will be restarted, then it will again whatever the hostname in the hostname file, then it will be reconfigured to return to same hostname. So this is the process. The hostname CTL, what it will do, it set the hostname and then it will restart the hostname service. So then that's the reason it will be this is the command for hostname CTL set the hostname master. So hostname CTL will do it will change the hostname and then it will restart the service. Then it will be enables it will configure it will changes the configuration file also with using a hostname CTL. So this is the hostname how to change the hostname file. And then let replace with my host name. See, it will changes to again. It will be into the original whatever my default host name for the my server. See here also change. So this is the one how to change the host name. Next, finding system information. So finding system information means so the cat etc red hat release it will shows that so what is the red hat version and then it will displays that my fun it will displays the what is the linux flavor and then so what is the kernel version when it was released and then what is the architecture of the linux that mission and then everything it will displays dmi decode it will give the complete information about the hardware information about the uh, Linux, our Linux mission. Let's check how to check cat slash etc. It's Red Hat release. So Red Hat, because like Red Hat and the CentOS both are same family. That's the reason. So if you give the Red Hat release also, it will be displaces. Then if you want to This is CentOS. So if you type the CentOS or Red Hat, both commands will work. So CentOS release, then it will be gives that our CentOS will be Linux release 7.8 version. This is a core. This is the version number of Linux. Which version you are using? Some people will ask the interview. Then which version of OS Red Hat or CentOS you are using? Then so you can tell them to cat in the etc and the CentOS release or else Red Hat release. If you want to in the Ubuntu or else some other then etc star hyphen. If you type this one, then it will be displays that so complete the information about the release, CentOS name, CentOS Linux version, ID, everything it will be displays with the star. And then so uname hyphen it will displays which flavor of OS is there, Linux, which flavor of Linux or Solaris or HPAX and so everything it will so flavor of that Linux flavor. This is a Linux, and then what is a host name, and then this is a kernel version, and then when it was built, the kernel was built, and then this is the time, and then this is the architecture of the Linux. This is 64-bit, x86 64-bit, and then Linux. So this is the Linux flavor it will displace. And then DMI decode. So it will gives the complete hardware information. See, so DMI decode getting BIOS data from sys file system. System BIOS is the 2.7%, 62 structures occupying handled. So DMI type 24 bytes BIOS information. The vendor is the Phoenix Technologies Private Limited. And then version is a 6, and then when it was there, date when we installed this thing into this mission. So we installed that 22720, and then address, and then runtime, and then ROM size 64 KB, and then characters. So ISA supported and the PCA supported, PC, PNP, complete information about the hardware information it will displace in this DMI decode. The people will ask in interview, so how to check the system hardware information? You need to tell them DMI decode. This is an important question the people will ask in this. So how to check the version number, and how to check the flavor, how to check the architecture type, and then release version of the kernel. So everything it will be these three commands. We need to remember the things like while going for the interview. Okay, so this is the one. Next, terminal controllers. The several keys combinations on your keyboard usually have a specific effect on the terminal. This is control key are accomplished by holding the control key while typing the second key. For example, control C means to hold the control key while you type the control C. So how to trigger that like control keys, like whenever you are running that some command you are running, so you need to stop that one, you need to erase that one, you need to suspend that process of that system process, and then we need to exit from the interactive program of the process signal. We need to end that you need to end the signal of that process. So how to do the things in this, how to pause, how to use terminal control keys. See, clear? Let's explain something like ps-ef, and then grep for or else print arc. Arc print $1. So you trigger this is the one, and then you want to delete it. So instead of going back, just you can control U. It will clear the complete line of complete line. It will kills. So ls-ltr. So and then ls-ltr, and then some kind of you are using that. Sorry, you are using the top. So if you want to come out of from this terminal, so you need to check control C. It will kill the process, and then it will ends that process, and then it will execute to normal terminal. So control C using for that, and then uh, control Z. So control Z. So how it will be like? So something just like the top command you are using control Z. So what it will do? So it will send to backend. So see 1 plus stopped. So if you check this, so it will come if you type the FZ, it will comes whatever that we stopped with the control Z. It will goes and then backend it will runs. See, so it will goes and backend it will runs with the using of control Z. So next you can FZ and then it will come foreground. So like this uh, you can terminate that process to backend. That is a control C. And then last is a control D. So if you are using any process like interactive with some process inside of that, so how to exit from there? So BC is not there. M install BC. So BC is the binary count, and then I forgot to tell one command. So how to run the process in backend? So how to run the command execute in the backend? So you need to run command. After the command, you need to mention ls-l and command. So it will run the background FZ. So no signals are there. Has terminated the bash. So if you want to execute something in the background, then you can use the command and symbol. Then it will that command will execute in the background. See top and so if you FG, then it will shows that which interrupted cell call the top was running in backend. So some kind of scripts you want to run, then you can use with the script with and. So and then so if you like you are executing 2, 3 plus 4, sorry 7. So if you are here, then we want to execute from here, you can mention the control D. It will exit and then come out to the command prompt. These are the terminal commands. And then these are the terminal control keys. So these are the terminal commands. So terminal commands means so like how to clear the terminal and then exit. So exit out of the shell terminal or user session. So if you have the multiple terminals, then you can type the exit, then it will be exit from the terminal and then exit out of the shell. So if you are running with if you are changed any shell from bash to sh to bash, then you can exit, then it will go for the previous, and then you are like logged in with the root user, and then you are switching it to some other user. So if you want to come out back to that return to root user, then you need to exit that whatever the new user terminal, there you need to exit it, then it will be revert back to root user. How to it will be like that. And the script, this is the some important command in to load the all the terminal what are the terminal execution commands, you can make it into the complete into the log file. So it will create the log file. The script command stores the terminal activities in a log file that can be named by a user. When a name is not provided by the user, the default file name TypeScript is used. So how it will be, these things will be works. Let's check. So ls-ltr. So if you want to clear the screen, if you can clear like this, and then if you want, I am switching to some other user. See, so either like So I'm logged in as a now I'm logged in as a ready. So and I want to exit from this user. So I want to type exit. So again I came back to root user. Root user. Same like that. If I type here exit, then this terminal will be close. So and then again I need to open, but these are a putty session. That's the reason I'm not closing it. Let me check how it will be. One more terminal I'm opening. See, I want if you type exit, then it will be exit the terminal. So like that, we need to close the terminal, or else we need to come back to the one user to some other user. Like this, we need to change it. We can use the exit command, and then it will come out. And then, so I will give that script. The script command, like see script dot log. See, script started. See here, script started. File is log. So ls-ltr and then ps-ef and then what is that net start ls-ltr. You can see here it was log script was created. So log script was created. Then check here. So this is a memory. If I run some commands and then it will the space will be increases. So this file the script command will be stores the complete history of the whatever the terminal history it will stores in this that file. So whenever we are like something configuring your some kind of application or else something, so what you will do for that, you need to trigger the script and then we need to give that what are the activity name of that log. Then whenever it will be like if I did some kind of mistakes for the verification purpose, you can check that file. So those times those kind of setups we are doing, you need to get to know the where we did mistake or else something, so how it will be flow was followed, and then in the further reference, and you can do this kind of file you can create with the script command. So let's check, and then again ls hyphen capital R, and then ls hyphen lr, and then t control Z, and then so like the present working directory. So now we can check ls hyphen ltr. So this size will be increased from log back to now. So let's check cat log scripted less. See what we did, like what are the command after the creation of the log, everything it will be stores. See so ls hyphen ltr, and then what you run next ps hyphen ef. So everything it will be stores in this file. So this is the use of a script command. So these are the things for what is the terminal? Okay, these are the terminal commands. And then so this is today's last class, like recovering the root password. So if you forgot the root password, so how to reset that root password? So this is the important the troubleshooting time. Then whenever we lost that root password, then how to reset it? Root. Let me open this in big screen, and then view customize. It's okay. So this was like completely okay, it's not coming. And then here root 1 2 3 4. So if you forgot that root password, so how to recover it? So what do we need to do? We need to restart the system. So we need to restart the system. So it will be shows here. We need to press the E edit button. So E it will comes. So or else if you then you need to come down. I think I selected. See the command prompt. Press E to set. And then select E. Set root hint bias minus in the see here here. So we need to remove RO, and then we need to remove RO, and then we need to we need to bring up into single mode user RW in it equal to slash is root slash bin slash sh, and then we need to enter control X to start. Control X. So what it will do, it will brings you to single user mode. See single user mode, it will comes, and then here ch root slash sys root, and then we need to change the password for root. It will ask for the new password. So you can change it for the new password. Root. So you successfully all authentication tokens updated successfully. So now what you need to do? So you need to exit from this terminal. So and then reboot. See now it will be defaultly it will be reboot, and then so whatever we change the password you can use with that password, and then we can access our system. So let me check. So the password was change password will be working or not. Once we'll wait for the root prompt. Yeah, it's working fine. So whatever the password I change, then it is working fine. So this is the process. So this is a very important, very simple activity to whenever you forgot the root access as a system admin. So how to change the root password? The people will ask in interview questions. So we need to remember that we need to go with the, we need to reboot the system. So not in the command prompt. So whenever if you forget that root password, then how can you log in? Then you need to do manual trigger for the uh, system. So and then it will be reboot the system, then it will comes the boot prompt. So loading prompt, the OS we need to where the dashboard initial setup. So there we need to enter edit, you need to press the E button. So it will be edit, it will use the editable option, and then go with that wherever the directory the path will be there, Linux, and then SDA, and then it will have some line, one line, whatever where it's changed. There we need to remove read only. There we need to write read write, we need to give. So read write init level system root bin sh. So it will be enabled the single user mode. Then we need to so you need to what you need to do. So you need to ch root, you need to change that system root ch root to system root. And then password you need to change it. So what are the steps we need to do? I will give this. I will give here. Once you can check my video. What are the things we need to change it? I will write here. Steps for root password change. So wherever the RO, remove it, and then we need to enter the RW space, all small letters, init equal to sys root /bin /sh. So once it will be added into that line, so we need to control X we need to press, and then so here we will enter to single user mode. There we need to type ch root sys root, and then password for the root. So we need to give the new password, and then exit or reboot, exit and reboot. So these are the steps we need to follow. So we need to reboot system and then press E. Press C, and then this is the line we need to remove. Just RO we need to remove. In that we need to come down once open that one, we can scroll down that if that we are in the VM, then that window page will be very small. Then what you didn't do, scroll down with the down arrow. So wherever that Linux, the kernel, it will display that that line wherever I change. You can check in the video. So where I changed. From that line, we need to remove that RO. So these are the steps we can follow for the if you forgot the root user password. So we need to how to recover. This is the process. So okay. So I'm stopping the video. I'm stopping the class for today.